The Scaled Agile Framework, or SAFe, is a template for scaling agile principles and tools to large organizations. My name is Inbar, and I'm a SAFe program consultant and an avid martial arts practitioner. I work at Agile Sparks, one of the leading agile consultancy firms in the world. I've worked with many enterprises, such as Woolworth, Amdocs, Cisco, and Deutsche Börse, to build agility over the years. And in this video, I will explain what SAFe is and how it works. SAFe is a framework meant to cover the entire organization. It operates on 3 levels: portfolio management, program, and team. Team level works very much like standard Scrum, although the teams can work in Kanban or Scrumban. At this level, we have a team which is cross-functional and includes developers and testers, which works together to deliver working software every 2 weeks, which are called a sprint or an iteration. The content for the sprint is determined by a product owner who is in charge of the team's backlog, which is an ordered list of user stories. The sprint starts with a planning meeting where the team decides what user stories they can deliver by the end of the sprint. Each day, the team meets to discuss their progress. And at the end of the sprint, the team gets together with the product owner to demo what they had done to make sure that they had delivered what she had wanted. Then they get together to retrospect what they can improve for the next sprint before starting the cycle again with a new planning meeting. All of this is guided by a Scrum Master who makes sure the team works smoothly within the process and that it keeps improving. You might wonder why we spent so much time on basic Scrum, which most of you might know. The reason is that the program level, which is the heart of SAFe, is built of exactly the same elements, only scaled up. At the program level, we have a team comprised of multiple teams working to deliver something together. This can range from 50 to 125 people. These teams will also time block their effort into PSIs, or potentially shippable increments, which are 5 sprint longs by default, and together deliver a bigger working software. The main metaphor for this team of teams is the Agile release train. Imagine you're flying from New York to London. You will need to book the plane tickets well in advance, verify the time, and reserve a seat. In contrast, when you take a subway, you don't plan ahead, you just go and catch the train. Why? Well, because trains are so frequent and arrive at constant intervals, we know that if we missed one train, we'll just board the next one. The same is true of the Agile release train, or ART. Because it is constant and relatively short, it is easy to explain to stakeholders why things that didn't make this train will just wait for the next one. The content for each PSI is determined by a product manager in the program backlog and will provide most of the content for the team backlogs. At this level, content is called features, which is either functional or architectural in nature. The train is governed by an RTE, or release train engineer, who acts as the train's Scrum Master, ensuring it runs smoothly and remains on the track. He is the program manager of the program level. Each PSI starts with a planning meeting, in which all the people on the train, all members of the teams, get together to hear the vision and the roadmap of the train, and the goals for the upcoming PSI. Each team then breaks out to plan what they can do in this PSI, while communicating with other teams on the train with whom they might need to collaborate. The team's commitment is to these objectives and to the train as a whole, and not to the specific items on their team backlog. In addition, the teams capture dependencies between themselves. To make sure the train is headed in the right direction, we have both a bi-weekly meeting of the Scrum Masters and the release train engineer to review the progress, as well as a system demo of the integrated solution. This demo ensures that we don't have one team sprinting ahead, but that the whole train is sprinting together. We said each PSI is 5 sprints long, but we've only planned 4 sprints. At the end of each PSI, we have a special sprint called a HEAP sprint. HEAP stands for Hardening, Innovation, and Planning. Hardening is the time to do final verification that we've met the PSI objectives, and do testing that we couldn't have done otherwise, such as load testing. This is not the first time to do integration tests. Remember the system demo that we do every 2 weeks. The innovation part is the time for teams to engage in hackathons, explore creative ideas, or do shippy days. The planning part is when we have time to do 3 things as a train. Demo our accomplishments of the PSI, maintenance for the train by retrospecting on how we can improve our collaboration in the next PSI, and finally, plan our next PSI together. The last thing to note at this level is the architectural runway. Since we want trains to run as fast as they can, we need to provide adequate architecture and infrastructure. Each PSI serves as the time to lay down the tracks for what we think we will need in order to achieve our goals in the following PSI. These items will become the architectural features and user stories in the backlog, and are the responsibilities of the train's architect. The portfolio level is slightly different and yet similar to the previous levels. At this level, the program portfolio management helps dictate directions to all underlying trains by allocating budget along investment themes and creating a backlog of portfolio level epics which need to be addressed by the train's product managers in the upcoming PSIs. To ensure cohesiveness at this level, we use a Kanban system to limit the amount of portfolio level initiatives and make sure all trains are focused on finishing those initiatives together rather than starting new initiatives. So this was a quick tour of what SAFe is and how it works. It is important to note that SAFe is a template for starting the Agile implementation and that organizations will likely need to customize it to their situation. But it does provide a clear path of how to start scaling Agile outside of the teams. If you want to learn more about SAFe, check out the big picture at scaledagileFramework.com or come to one of our courses on leading the Agile organization using SAFe. Our list of courses are found at agilesparks.com. Or you can ask any questions you might have directly to me in bar@agilesparks.com or LeanSamurai.com. Thank you for your time.